Hello, everybody. Welcome to Everchat. Just going to bring the panel in. Here we go. Hello, Alan, our special guest. Derek, Liam, and Andy. Hello, guys. How are you?
Hello, everyone.
Hey, everyone.
Good evening.
So, welcome to the relaunch of Everchat. Plenty of topics for you to talk about tonight, and I'm sure all our audience will have lots of questions for us. So, let's start with our special guest, Alan. How are you doing, Alan?
I'm doing good.
And do you want to tell us about yourself and what you do?
Yeah. So, well, specifically when it comes to Evercade. So it's actually my wife, to be honest with you. I take very little credit for why I'm here. My wife has a little kind of side business, and it really is just that. It's her, not her day job, kind of borderline hobby, where she would kind of make a lot of customized products for people. So she used to do a lot of kind of Christmas presents, gifts, gifts for new babies, all these kind of things. And then when I got into Evercade and I had my handheld, and I asked her to make a stand for me. I made the original stand. She made the original stand, and I think I just shared it on Facebook, and there was quite an interest in it. So she's now, that's like a year and a half ago or something. And we've now, done loads and loads of Evercade stands. And these ones that Roger's showing now, these are the new EXP ones. That actually is an Evercade stand, but it's designed like an Atari. So it's got like the kind of wood look to it, wood grain. And one of the guys that bought it, David, that's his Atari Lynx. So it actually fits his Lynx as well on it, which is quite good. But yeah, so we've stopped making the original ones now, because there was original white ones with the red trimming on it. There was the black with the red trimming on it, and then there was the purple with the kind of whitish gray trimming on it. So we've just moved on to the EXP ones now. And as you've seen there, so there's like pure white, which goes quite nicely with the pure white version. Pure black, same. The Atari, so the wood one actually says Atari on it. It's got the little Atari symbol on it and everything. So yeah, you can see the white one there. So that's quite a good one. Yeah, I think for people that have I mean, I've ordered the white one myself, but I've gone for one that's not on these photographs. Actually, I've gone for a Capcom designed one.
You've had to order one. Doesn't your wife give you one if you ask her nicely?
Well, I usually get the prototypes, to be honest. So sometimes I sometimes get a little special ones. My ones end up being a little bit different, because she'll do something and she'll be like, "Oh, actually, I like this other thing better." So I'll have the version that ends up not going out on sale. But yeah, that wooden one there. So that's the Atari one there, which is quite a nice finish to it.
It looks really nice, that.
Yeah. And thanks to David for taking that photograph. So if you're into your Atari, then that's quite a nice custom one. The Capcom one, which I know you've ordered, Roger, is quite a nice Capcom one as well. And she really makes a bunch of them. Unfortunately, we've basically run out of stock. So I don't have any to show you right now, but she's basically got new materials coming in that I can show you. And they are all, so we sell them through Etsy. As Roger was showing you, the little logo there, which is the Jelly Bear Creations. So for anyone that is interested in them and hasn't got them already, if you just go to Etsy and just search for Jelly Bear Creations.
I'll put the link in the video at the end as well.
Yeah, that'd be great. And I've got a discount code, which I'll come back to in a second as well for people watching. So you go to Etsy, look on there. She also makes them for Switch, Game & Watch. It's got some really nice Game & Watch ones as well. And these all just started with the Evercade, by the way. She hadn't done any gaming stands until the Evercade came along. And I convinced her to do it. So, so really my role in this is really just being in the community and just telling people about it and stuff. And I occasionally bring it to the post office for her. And that's
I have a question, Alan.
Yeah, go for it.
Did you actually send one to one of the Evercade team for that black EXP of Street Fighter on?
Yeah, so that was sent to Andrew Joseph, that works for Evercade, and he's also one of the testers as well. And the white one, that was one of the other testers as well. But Evercade do have some of the original ones also. Ryan and Evercade bought a couple of them, and there's actually quite a cool photograph. I should have sent this on to you, but it's quite a cool. I'll post it on Facebook again. There's a cool photograph that they put out. It must have been like around the time of the VS launch, where it was like a retro setup with like a CRT TV or something. It had the VS and it had the original handheld there, and it was actually in one of our stands. And this was one of their marketing photographs, which was really, really nice. I do have this little stand which I can show you, which is a bit of a unique one. So this is not for Evercade. I mean, it would fit in Evercade if you wanted it, but it's not really relevant to it. But just kind of show you some of the kind of other little designs that she does. So that's a Star Fox design there with a reflective surface to it, which is really nice actually. And it's kind of a unique one because it doesn't really have a purpose. You know, it would Nintendo Switch, you know, Game Boy Advance I think would fit in it, or an Evercade. But it's just she's quite a Star Fox fan, so she just wanted to make it, and she's just made a few of them to sell. And
what's the shiny material then? Is it like aluminium or something?
No, it is just acrylic, and it's just I believe it's just got like a mirrored finish to it.
That's nice.
So they're all laser cut. So so none of it's, you know, it's all laser cut, so it's all really finely cut. And yeah, it's nice sturdy, and it's got the new ones now all have like a nice fabric at the bottom as well.
Oh yeah.
So it's quite nice to kind of put on your shelf. So but yeah, so while we're on that, so I don't forget, there is a discount code for anyone that wants to get one that is watching, and I'll quickly tell you what that is. So if you're interested, if you go to the Etsy store, decide what you want, and then go through to your basket, and then the code is chat15. So CHAT, all capitals 15. So, and that gives you a 15% discount off. And I believe because there's no stock at the moment, I believe she's going to keep that on there till the end of January, because it's probably going to be a couple of weeks to get more stock on there. She's got about enough, I think, for 12 more black stands and 12 white stands, as well as 4 Capcom and 4 Atari. Should be all kind of on there in the next kind of few weeks.
And if anybody messages you, can they ask you for a custom one if they want anything special done?
So the custom ones are a little bit tricky because it's not it depends on what it is. If it's something like we have the material for it, or if it's like it's a tiny little change, then maybe. So for an example, I don't know, let's say you wanted the white one but with the black base. You know what I mean? If she had those materials there, then she could make that change. But generally the custom ones, it's not really worth the while because she will do a design and then kind of mass produce them through the laser cutter. So we tend not to really kind of get into custom ones, but we do take ideas. So so there has been people like on Twitter and things. I think is Ball Trooper, I think is his tag. He made some suggestions quite early on. I think it might have been we had done the white one, we had never done a black one. I think he had said like he'd love a black one, so we designed the black one, and some of the things like that as well. I think it might have been him again that suggested doing stands for the controllers. So we've thought about doing that. The only problem is the wires and the controllers. It's not like a Bluetooth controller. You know, a Bluetooth controller I think would fit quite nicely in a stand, but because you've all got all that wiring, it doesn't really kind of work very well. But we're always open to ideas. So so if you've got an idea, you know, let me know. Or if you're wanting to get one and there's none in stock, you can either message my wife Lisa through Etsy, or drop me a message on Facebook or Twitter.
I messaged you, didn't I? I said, could you do me a black one with like the yellow for the Capcom underneath it?
Yeah, and I think we'd already sent yours though, hadn't we?
Yeah, well, I'd still like one if you do one in the future.
Okay.
Cool, thank you.
Take that one.
Right, so thank you for that, Alan. We'll do our best to help show everybody how great the stands are. And as you said, I've got one order, so I'll show it on the next show.
Great.
Let's move on to Derek and see how you're doing, Derek.
I'm very well, thank you.
And what's been happening on Twitter?
Oh, as usual, it's pretty manic on there. But luckily, lots of new people with uptakes on the EXP. So, yeah, I think it's quite a success. I think that's answered a lot of things people wanted with an improved screen and certainly,
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. You can take pictures from any angle, which again takes a lot of the. At the moment, that's quite tricky if you want to get a good photo. But
So it's
yeah.
becoming, so would you say it's becoming a very retro modern console then?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I think they've hit the jackpot with this one.
I think so as well. Andy, we've got a good connection with you tonight, haven't we?
I know it makes a change, doesn't it? Eh? Don't get too used to it.
But you need a picture on your back wall or something, Andy.
I know, yeah. I'm going to have to get a green screen behind, aren't I? Yeah.
So,
as soon as I get into that game room, it stops, doesn't it? That's the trouble. Yeah.
I know you've been busy, Andy.
Yeah.
I know you've been busy because you've got a new series on YouTube about is it grave encounters?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know. I've actually got to mention that there because I've been messaged. A few people have messaged me that I've spelt encounters wrong. No, it's actually a play on it. It's a private joke between me and my missus, and that's why it's called the way it is. But yeah, it's a new series, stepping away completely from obviously gaming in general, and just finding celebrity graves, get it right. And famous crime victims and things like that. It was just something I've always been interested in, and of course I started with Peter Cushing, who's one of my favourite actors of all time. So I went to Whitstable, went to his house, went to his grave site, well, his interned ashes, half of his interned ashes site, and went to his favourite haunts and what have you. So yeah, it was fantastic doing that. I really loved it. So yeah, that's just a little bit of a side hustle that I thought makes me carry on doing other things as well. So
I know you've been covering a lot of Evercade games since our last show with the other guys.
That's right. Yeah, that's been really, really fun as well. Yeah, just like re-jumping on them as well, and just bringing them back to light, and which are my three favourite games off the cartridges. Of course, I did more cartridges, full stop. Anyway. It's been really good to jump back on them and just highlight why those cartridges were great in the first place and what are my personal favourite three of them and what have you. Yeah, been really good again.
Andy, do you drive?
Yes, I do, yeah.
I'm not getting in the car with you. I've seen you driving on those games, Andy. Oh my God.
I tell you what, it's funny because most of the games I've played over the years on other systems. But as soon as I'm trying to reacquaint myself with a new controller and what have you, it's like I'm learning all over again. I mean, I'm terrible anyway. You know that, Roger. Come on. I'm the king of crap. But a lot of that is down to the way the controllers work compared to what I'm used to. I think that's what it is. If you're going from Mega Drive, for instance, onto the Evercade VS controller, it's a different ball game, and you've been used to playing it that way for years. You really trip up. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
And Liam, how's it going, Liam?
All right, thank you.
Busy on the magazine?
Yeah, hoping to get the sort of first proof done tonight, finished tonight. Like give it to everyone in the sort of mag chat to look through. Then if it's all okay, go live sort of tomorrow night, Saturday morning.
Why am I in the mag chat?
It's like all I know that guys who do all the reviews.
No, I actually quite like when you send me a final link over to have a look over, because then I get the surprise. Then, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know Vaughan can't wait for it.
No, well, he has took some flack because I think about July when we said, yeah, about 2-3 weeks we'll be ready. Then about 2-3 weeks later we said, yeah, a couple of weeks we'll be ready. It's just until you sort of sit down and start going at it, and you forget sort of how many hours you have to put into it just to get a couple of pages done. And when it's sort of 63, 64 pages, it's just crazy. But
luckily you got Eric to help you proofread.
been at it all this week until sort of 12:30 in the morning. So a bit tired, but I should get it out for the weekend. Hopefully have some copies printed for Nottingham game.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to tell us about that for James?
Yeah, was it the Nottingham Video Game Expo? There's a week on Saturday at the I think it's the Richard Heron Centre.
I'm hoping to be there, but I can't make that promise at the moment because of the train strikes.
Yeah, well, we've got everything. Need to get it all sorted, set up, like all the card reader and everything, so people can pay on card there. We've got issues 1, 2, 3, 4 stock coming off Amazon. Fingers crossed. It's if you order straight through Amazon, so if you buy one, if you order it in the morning, it's delivered the next day, or sometimes it's 2 days.
Yeah.
But then if you order the author's copies, you only have to pay the print cost, you don't have to pay the admin fees. But I think because of that, they just put you to the back of the queue. So it said, I went to order them on Monday, it said dispatch within 5 days. I thought, well, that's fine, probably have them by the weekend. And then paid for it all like double digits because we ordered quite a bit of stock. Well, triple digits because we ordered quite a bit of stock. And then it says estimated delivery 20th of December. So I went straight on the chat and I said, well, that's not within 5 days. That's 15 days.
Yeah.
So they said, oh well, I'll have a look. And they said, oh well, yeah, we can get them to you for the 12th of December. I said, yeah, that's a bit better. Cheers, because we need them for I think it's the 17th. So yeah. That's a lot better. So yeah, fingers crossed we'll have stock when we go to the show. People can buy them, but no. Mark, who does the artwork as well, he's got some sort of banners coming and some sort of pop-up banners, vinyl banners. He's had some business cards done. So got some stands and things coming, so we can stand them all up. So it should look professional when we're there. If we can.
Yeah, hopefully lots of pictures for the group.
Yeah. Once it's all set up, we're going to get some pictures, get it all set up. Hopefully we'll get there early in the morning. I completely forgot it. It's my mum's wedding the day before and we're staying over at the hotel, so got to get up early in the morning. I can drop my wife back home and then drive to Nottingham. Luckily it's only sort of 40 minutes to Nottingham, so it's not bad.
Don't be drinking too much.
No. We'll get there. Yeah. Well, it'll be nice to tell them in person for the first time rather than online. It's just an unknown because we don't know how many to take. With it being, I think, still quite niche into Evercade, we don't know what to take. If we take 10 copies, we might of each one. We might not sell a single copy, or we might sell out in the first hour. Until we've done the first show, we won't know what the take-up's like. Especially now with it not being an Evercade show, just a general retro gaming show.
I'm sure the guys in the hub will buy them off you if you have any left. You just put them up for sale there.
Yeah.
And put your couple of quid on for postage or whatever. And I'm sure people will rather support buying them off you than off Amazon, even though Amazon's still the same, really.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
We'll get a lot more out of it because we only pay the print costs this time. Whereas when they're sold online, it's the print costs, then Amazon's admin costs, then we get 60% of what's left, and which isn't usually too much. But we'll do a lot better when it's just the print costs.
Well, I know with the last one, didn't all the profits go to Gaming Grandad and the Stroke Association?
The first month we released beginning of April, and the first month they all went to the Stroke Association, and it worked out about £197 something. So we just rounded it up to 200.
Oh, that's brilliant!
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant.
Like you said,
Chris was over the moon.
Like you said, you don't make much from the magazine, so anything to the Stroke Association helps.
Well, that was the first one we did at £7 rather than £6. And the way Amazon works, like you pay it's the print cost, which I think that's about £3.50. Then it's Amazon's admin cost. That was about £2, about £2.70 in the UK. So that were about £2. It left about 30p left over, and then we get 60% of that. So we were making about 18 pence on one sold in the UK. But then the admin fees were a lot higher in Europe, so there was nothing left. So we got nothing for anything sold in Europe, and we got, I think, five pence for one sold in America. Whereas if we put it up £7, rather than being 30p left over, the admin fees and the print costs stay the same. So rather than being 30p left over, it's £1.30 left over. So then we get 60% of that. So means we'll make more out of it. So we could sort of donate £200 there, and we bought a limited edition EXP for competition giveaway, but that's been stolen. So I don't know when we'll see that.
It will come eventually.
Yeah, eventually. It wasn't for this issue; it was for next issue. So it'll be by then.
Good thing
So
it
guys,
wasn't.
you heard that right. So how would they enter the competition? Have they got to buy the magazine to be part of it?
Not necessarily, but it would obviously be nicer to do because that money goes toward that pays for the prices. So it would be nicer to do. But that will be next issue 6. Whereas this one, it's just we've said like the 2 latest cards or any 2 cards of your choice if someone's already got the 2 latest cards, and this one looks just a word search with some of the Atari games in it. So it's nice and easy for them. It's sort of ITV standard
That
easy.
sounds like Andy Street. He likes his Atari games.
Yeah, well, it's the Atari special. It ties in with the 50th anniversary. It was all a bit lucky. Like we started ages ago, but because it's taken so long, it's tied in with the 50th anniversary. So like we're reviewing the Atari collection to Atari Arcade. Then we've got an interview with a guy who was the creative writer at Atari in Sunnyvale during sort of the Lynx and the 7800 days. He used to write all the backstories for the games and that sort of thing and create the manuals. That's quite a nice interview. Yeah, it's a nice Atari special time with the 50th year anniversary.
I think that'd be really interesting.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah.
So that's everybody caught up with for a second. Should we just say hello and see who's in the chat?
Yeah.
We've got Nicholas Skippins, Dorbs, DJ, Lunners, Mr. Ryan, Mr. Evercade, Chris, the Retro Chef, Ginger Hippie Gaming. Thank you, Si. I hope you're doing well, mate. Ollie, he's there as well. I think that's nearly Nerdy Geezer. All right, Lee, if I can get your... There you go, there he is. If I can get your thing up, yep. Al Sternhammer, is it?
That's me.
Right, Al?
That's me dipping in. Yeah, that was me going because I'd never given the cost of the product. So someone asked in the chat, so I jumped in.
And Games Way Up. Al, how you doing, mate? So so we've got quite a good audience tonight as well. So I'll switch back and see what our topics are. Right, we've done the quick about the relaunch. Done you, Alan, your bit of the show. Oh, here we go. We'll talk about this now. The Evercade heist. I've done a little slideshow to show you the pictures on this as well. So just give me a second, and I'll cue that up. If it starts, there you go. Important information announced yesterday. In the early hours of yesterday morning, a lorry containing Evercade EXP limited edition stock was subject to a targeted robbery. Nobody was hurt in this criminal act, but a theft of our limited edition stock was carried out. More information on the website. And I think there's one more screen, but that says about what they're going to do for everybody who's affected by this. So, thoughts, gentlemen? Do you want to start with you, Al?
It's horrendous. I mean, yeah, it's bad, and it's just pretty shocking. And I've seen some interesting comments as well of people saying, when did they know what they were stealing? And because it's such a niche market, I think can you really expect not to can you really expect to get to sell these and get away with it? It's not like stealing a few thousand Nintendo Switches. You know what I mean? You know, everywhere sells Nintendo Switches, but not only have you stolen a product that is a niche market, but you've stolen a product that literally was only on sale from one distributor or one shop. So yeah, it's blatantly obvious, but it's horrendous. I think it's really bad. I feel bad for Blaze. I think more than anything, I said that on Facebook earlier on, is that I think they're probably the biggest victims, because I'm hoping that they have insurance that covers it, because otherwise that's a huge hit for them.
Well, obviously they were planning all this to be like Christmas presents and things, you know. We don't know if there was anything else on the lorry or anything, but that was probably the main thing. And yeah,
but they're going to be able to track it back so easy, aren't they? Like you just said. I mean, what an idiot! Whoever it was is an idiot. They can't shift them on without the police tracking it back. It's such a niche market, like you said. They've had it, so bloody good, huh?
yeah. Well, they have asked, please, if anybody sees anything, to email interested@evercade.co.uk. But they said don't get in contact with the people who are selling them. Just leave that to them, basically, in the police.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you see anything, you can report it to Evercade, but try not to get involved with the person who's or people who've got them, because it, you know, anything could happen these days. They could turn and say you're part of it or something, and you could get yourself into deep trouble.
It could even just give away the game. I mean, if you say the wrong thing to them, they might realize, oh, this is sus, you know, I'm going to get nicked.
Yeah.
You know, and then suddenly they'll take them off wherever they're selling them, you know. So you kind of almost want to leave them, let them be there in public selling them, and then it's easier to nick them.
I mean,
funny thing for me is this happened with the VS, didn't it, as well? They had a heist on that as well, didn't they, at the time? So this is like an ongoing thing.
Did they?
Yeah, I think it happened, didn't it, with the VS? The original shipments got nicked, didn't it? If I remember right, Roger.
I remember Ryan's, when he used to be with us, his got nicked, and he didn't come back till early January, did it? So
that's right. Yeah, there was quite a few people, wasn't there? So it must have been like one of the shipments or something, one of the containers, I think, that got nicked at the time.
It's got to be somebody who knows somebody who works.
Yeah, they're targeting it on purpose, aren't they? They've got to be.
Of course they are. It's, you know.
Yeah.
Was it not more of an issue with the stock, like a certain boat or something being stuck in customs or something like that in coming from China or something?
Oh, that was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, that as well. Yeah. That's why mine was still there. Yeah.
Yeah, remember that.
Do you think in a way it could have a positive effect in the long run? Because I know it's like it was on Eurogamer and all that sort of stuff. So it could possibly be advertising in one sense. People who maybe not know about the Evercade before, now they've seen it on Eurogamer. I think it's like IGN, that sort of thing.
They always say no advertising is bad advertising, don't they? And I think you're right. Yeah.
Makes it seem more sought after if somebody's been bothered to go and nick the whole first batch.
Yeah, if they're willing to go and nick it, it's got to be good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Does anybody else want to say anything about that, or are we all done on that bit?
Yeah, we're all good on that.
Yeah, I think pretty much.
Right. So I'm just gonna move on to the letter from Blaze to say what they're doing to try and make it up to people. If it plays. Oh, there you go. But basically, when you read that, they're going to give you 20% off your next fund stock order. Is it a hero status and the new EXP credits?
Yeah,
I think there was something else as well.
So I think it's good with it. I don't think they need to. It's nothing on Blazers then, really, is it? That it's been.
No, they don't. They don't need to do anything, do they? Just very, very good of them to try and make it up to people.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you certainly wouldn't get that from Sony or Nintendo, would you? Really?
No, you wouldn't. No,
you wouldn't. No.
And that's a really good point, Andy, because you get some really negative people, online that will say things like, "Oh, Blaze's customer service is horrendous" or something. But then, like you said, I mean, if that happened to one of the bigger companies, you wouldn't get anything for it.
Yeah.
No,
You wouldn't. You'd be lucky to get an email back.
Yeah, you would be lucky to get an email.
Yeah.
And that's it. Everything they've said, they've kept the word, and you can't get better customer service than that.
No.
Remember, I hope one day they'll be as big as Nintendo and all that, but it could still take a while because it took Nintendo 100 years after all.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yeah. It took playing cards first to do it.
I'm going to read out what I got told earlier. So just give me a second for me to find it. Let's see. This is from Andrew Byatt, the managing director of Evercade. Hi, Roger. Right now, we have to thank everybody for being as supportive about what has happened. And, they're saying how disappointed people are is the worst thing for them. Because, like I said, they want to see it open to make sure everybody had it by this time next week. They've also like to point out that from tomorrow, there's going to be reviews of the EXP on YouTube. And, hopefully that will show people how good the quality is. But I think we all know that already. So
yeah, from what I've seen already, it looks blinding, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does look blinding, doesn't it? And I'm just going to read what Ryan sent me as well. Let's see.
It will be good though to see those other reviews because the earliest, at least the earliest video one was the IGN one that came in, and they were just reviewing the prototype, and they mentioned about the D-pad maybe almost could be a little bit tighter, I think they said. So, but they were saying that was probably because it was a prototype. So it'd be really good to see the kind of reviews actually of the final product now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right. So Ryan says about the heist and that. He said, if you're suspicious about any third-party listings, do us a favor and forward the details onto interested@evercade.co.uk, which we said. Any and all potential evidence that they can submit to the police will be helpful. And it says, please also refrain from posting suspicious things on social media. So don't put it up in the groups or on whatever social media platform you're on, because they don't want things to interfere with what's happening. So obviously they must have a clue about who's got it and whatever, and just collecting evidence. And like I said, anything suspicious, anything you think is dodgy, get in touch with them.
And I'm sure it's anonymous, Roger, isn't it? It'll be anonymous. You can do that. So
yeah,
it's not like
yeah, just email them and just let them know. It says thank you for the support from the community because it's been overwhelmingly positive, and they're very appreciative. They said that they actually booked the replacements the same day they found out they'd all been stolen. So this has happened right under the this just happened unexpectedly for him, and must have thought everything was safe to post out, and bang, the lorry's gone.
Shows they were quick to act though, but they were quick on the fact of we need to make this right for people and not wanting to let people down.
It shows you they must have had enough stock to fall back onto to be able to sort the problem out so quickly.
Back into production. They've had to start production up again, isn't it? That was,
bang out those. Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, like I said, anybody watching, if you see anything dodgy, report it to them. Don't try not to give the criminals any publicity or anything, because we don't want anything like that to happen again or anything like that. And let's just hope the police kick their ass.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's so important people remember that. I mean, I bang on about community, and it's not just when it's on the good side and we're getting the Capcom, we're getting the IMREN. on the bad times too, that we pull together as a community, and we just make sure that we keep those pre-orders for the Black Evercades that Blaze have gone on and ordered, and our best way is to support them.
Yeah. I'm sure it won't be long, because if they got all the parts there and ready to go, they'll have them out within weeks. So bear with them. Right, on to the next subject then. The new UI announcement, the video that was on the other day. Shall we start with you, Derek?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. Probably one of my favorite bits I'm looking forward to is the bit where you can put in so many coins. I just think this is fantastic, because I don't know if anyone else ever went to the arcade and you only had limited funds, but I had to be quite careful with how many continues I'd have on certain ones if I wanted to play other ones. So on something like Final Fight, I might have had something like 3 continues, but after that I'd had it. So yeah, you had to get good quick, and I just thought it's such a fantastic little ad, because having continual credits it damages it for me, really. I only want a certain amount and get better. So yeah, I just think this is such a fantastic ad.
What about you, Alan?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. My experience in the arcade was the exact same, Derek, as well. You know, it would be, right, okay, how much have I got here? How long can I last? You know, and when you pick the wrong game, you go through your money way too quick, and you go, you know. But also, it's I always enjoy playing arcade games nowadays the most when I try to kind of challenge myself, you know. So because it can get a bit boring, because you can just keep dying and just keep adding coins and just coming back in. I remember playing Final Fight on the Capcom collection on the Switch, and they had a thing where you didn't add coins at the start or even throughout. You just click to continue, and that kind of took away the fun of, well, how many continues did it take me? How many coins did it take me to actually complete that? Where, you know, the times I've gone on, say, played Metal Slug and been like, oh, well, that took me 30 something credits to continue, right? And I gotta go on and try and so I gotta go on and try and bring that down, you know, and challenge yourself. Or you might say, right, I'm gonna give myself a maximum of, you know, pick a really hard game, I'm gonna give it a maximum of 5 or 10 and see how far I get. It's
another great little feature they're adding with the high scores. So even though your high score will continue, it'll actually show next to it how many continues it took you to get as far as you got. So I think that's a really great idea as well.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. That's what I liked about all the high scores and the leaderboards and things. I thought that sounds really good.
Yeah.
What about you, Liam?
I think one of the biggest ones for me was the hidden games. Once you've unlocked them, they stay unlocked. They've got their own menu. Because I think some of them, I've seen in the past, where someone might have put it in the group or something. I've unlocked it, played it for 5-10 minutes, and then forgot about it. So it's on there, but I've just forgot about it. And have them where they stay unlocked. I think that's going to be nice. I think I'll encourage you to play them more if you're there. You don't have to keep remembering the code or the button combination. You can just go back to them.
I think they'll bring that to the VS eventually.
Oh, absolutely! Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Save your games on that, because they are, but both the XP and the VS pretty much the same power, aren't they? So they should be able to do nearly the same stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a good one, because that game, Hummings, is it?
Yeah, I like Hummings, but you've got to put all those.
Yeah, it's like a Centipede type game. And it's quite good, but like Liam, you're saying there, it's like you forget.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, wait, what's the code for that again? How do you do that?
I even forget what games were on there, which hidden games there are.
I'll tell you what I did like as well was the battery charging on the bottom and the indicators. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Because you can always tell on the old ones.
Where you've got the green for on and where it's flashing if the battery's low or it's on charge. So I think it gives you a good indication if you're getting low on battery. So it's a good idea.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, they've got a little.
I hate it when you got something and you haven't got a battery on there, because you know damn well what's going to happen. It's going to just suddenly cut out on you, isn't it? Because you've got no way of checking it. So for me, that's really, really important. Yeah.
In the middle of a boss fight or something. And...
Yeah, that's it. And then you know it's going to end up in the wall.
Actually, that brings us on to our next subject, actually. It is officially 1 week until people should start getting VSs. EXPs. VSs? I'm living in last year. So, yeah. 1 week. Anybody not excited?
I'm not, because I didn't order one.
No,
Andy, when I saw the
No, I've
black
got to
ones,
get onto it and get it done.
I was going to say, when I saw the black ones had been heisted, I went onto my Argos card and ordered a white one.
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah.
I've got 6 months to pay that off now, so hopefully,
Yeah.
20 quid a month for 6 months, I'll have it paid off.
We're going to be taking some of the older ones, like the original Evercades, to the show, so people, I say we've been a general retro game show. People might have not seen it before, so at least people can try it out. If we take like some arcade games, some console games, the C64 cart, and I thought, oh, when the EXP comes, I'll take it. I won't let people go on it, but I'll sort of have it there. It's like, this is the new one, but I'm not going to be able to do that anymore because I only have the limited edition one.
Liam, has James got a VS?
James,
Maybe he'll set one up for you there.
I'm not sure if he has or not. We said we didn't need any power sockets, so I think we're in the sort of the inner rather than the outer. We're just taking power banks for the the Evercade if they need recharging.
Do you have any particular carts, Liam, that you think would be a good showcase?
I think some of the indie ones will be decent. Show like the modern stuff. I think possibly some of the more well-known ones, like especially for the British show, like the Oliver Twins or Big Mac Brothers, that sort of thing. Codemasters. I think everyone sort of. I mean, you could take the Atari ones and that sort of thing. Everyone knows Atari, Capcom, but yeah, I think probably the mix. Some of the big ones, some of the indie ones, things like the Xeno Crisis, Tanglewood, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I have to say, I introduced some friends to Evercade last week that are all into their retro gaming, and I maybe had about 4 different carts. And the game that they all seemed to respond really well to was Alligator Hunt.
Yeah,
They'd never seen, and they were like, I think their response was, "This looks like a modern retro game." So they were all really taken by that.
Yeah,
That's the shooty one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like the crosshair. Sure.
There's a boy with a skateboard in it.
Yeah.
And he goes into a spaceship.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Some rocking tunes in it.
Yeah, cracking track.
I tell you what, talking about the VS, I thought I'd just tell you guys that I actually picked up, because I never had the white VS. I obviously got the Founders Edition, and I've been using that to do my videos and things like that. And every time one of the kids goes too close to it, I'm panicking. And I walked past Cash Converters yesterday, and I had one in the window, the white one. It just been open to check the contents were there. 40 quid. So I grabbed it. 40 quid Cash Converters are selling them for. If they get them in, they're 40 quid, and that's over the whole of their franchises. So yeah, it might be worth looking online. If anybody out there is after a VS and you want to save a bit of money, just go online onto Cash Converters. They're doing the VS white VSs, mint condition, fully boxed, 40 quid. So I thought that was incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I won't be so panicky about that. So I'll put the other one away now.
Put it on a shelf somewhere.
Yeah.
Right, so next subject, and I haven't actually got these games. So, who has got them and can tell us how they're getting on with them? Always and Cathedral and the C64 collection.
Alan, I'll tell
them?
you. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Andy can go first, Andy, if you want to.
Andy,
okay. Well, as soon as I start talking C64, Rod, you know, I'm like, I think it's a beautiful collection. And a lot of people have been mourning, saying that, you know, they should have had this game on it, that game on it. What you got to bear in mind is you're talking thousands of bloody games, because people were making them in their bedroom already and getting them published into magazines and things, you know. And they have to start somewhere. I'm just hoping that there's going to be a hell of a lot more collections coming. I think it's awesome what they've started with there. I love it. I mean, it's funny. I got that collection about the same time as I got my like fantastic fully box set, and I was like toying between the two. I was going on that 1 minute on the actual hardware, and then I was going back onto the cartridge. So I think it's fantastic. And And you know, it really does just show how much love there is for the microsystem still, that it's doing as well as it is, because I think it's one of their best selling ones, isn't it, cartridges? The last I heard, anyway, it was one of their best selling cartridges here in the UK, anyway. And it just shows you the nostalgia we have for the C64. I love it.
Yeah, well, we know Amiga's coming at some point.
Yeah, that's going to blow me away. Yeah,
I think we'll see a lot more home computer collections as well.
yeah, because again, I love the Amiga 500 and all the other Amiga, you know, that came along after. And I think again, the nostalgia here alone, and Europe in general for the Amiga, is incredible. And of course, it's always, even though Commodore's American, they were always more popular here in Europe than they were even in their own land, you know. But of course, there is a lot of love for the 500 over in America as well. So yeah, fingers crossed. Oh, we're going to get a lot more C64 and a lot more Amiga, you know, once the initial ones are here. Yeah, lovely. Just need a Spectrum one now, and an Amstrad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liam, have you been playing them?
I played obviously the first thing just took me to make sure they work, but yeah, I played the C64 one. So I haven't really got much nostalgia for it because it was sort of a bit before my time. I was sort of too young to play when I was a kid. But I've played a few of those, played through the Gateway to Hampshire or something like that. Played through that one. That was, you can appreciate it. Say, yeah, it was like early 80s, but it was like just a dungeon crawl like the ones we've seen on like the Dark Chains and that sort of thing on the 2600. But you have the proper RPG elements, like you get better armor and better weapons as you go up and that sort of thing. They are really easy to appreciate. So yeah, I've put more time into the C64 one than the Cathedral one. It's just, I think, like I said, the more we get, I think the more fans the Evercade will get. Like I said, it's one of the best selling so far. I think a lot of those will possibly be new fans who are C64 fans rather than Evercade fans, if it gets them on board to start with. I think same again with Amiga. I think they'll get Amiga fans on board who weren't originally Evercade fans, because I think you still have a lot of people in this country who are home computer fans rather than console fans still. I think it just opens it up to more people, doesn't it? So it's only a good thing.
Yeah. They could be starting the ball rolling, like say the Atari ST one would be good, wouldn't it, as well? Yeah, absolutely.
Especially you'd get a load of fans, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would, yeah, absolutely.
What about you, Alan? Have you got them?
So I didn't get the C64 one. I will get it. My reasoning for I generally only get, I know it doesn't really make any sense from a shipping perspective, but I generally only get one cart at a time, because otherwise I just don't give games enough time. Do you know what I mean? So I get one card and I like to spend. And then I also know once the EXP comes out, we've got Capcom, Total Plan, which have been two of my kind of wish list collections, and Irem, then everything else is going to get dumped for like 3 months. So I thought I'll get Cathedral and Alwa's Awakening. And so I've been playing through them. I would say they're both really good games. They are. I'm probably not as in love with them as some people are, purely because they're not really my type of games. It's too much wandering around and not knowing what to do. Cathedral I was really enjoying until it got frustratingly difficult. And I don't think I'd shout at my TV at a game in quite a while until playing Cathedral. And then Alwa's Awakening, I actually enjoyed that one a lot more. I'm still playing that one. But at the moment, I am just kind of at a point now where I wander around, and every now and again I find something new. But I'm like, but it still doesn't open up that many new areas yet. So
so vast, isn't it? They're so vast.
Yeah.
I mean, I first played them on the Switch, and I absolutely love them on there as well, both of them. But you're absolutely right; they're brilliant. And then you start getting a little bit frustrated. I mean, I'm in love with them both; they're fantastic, but they're so vast. And you just think you're going to start opening up a new area, and like you said, it's like the walls up. That's it. And then you just put it down and you get frustrated, don't you?
I need like a long train journey somewhere or something just to...
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Sit with my handheld and just play it for like 9 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
And Derek, how are you getting on with them?
Oh, absolutely loving them. The first thing I've got to say about the C64 collection is just how easy it is to use. Slot in the cart, hit the A button, and away you go. If you own things like a C64 Mini, things like that, you've got to go and locate the ROMs. You've got to have a pen drive. You've got to work out whether it's D64 or cartridge and all that fiddling stuff. There's none of that with the Evercade. It's seamless. You just pop it in and away you go. Anyone can do it, literally. So
you don't have to run a bath, do you? And what have you? Never have your tea first while the cassette loads, and yeah.
Only find it's just on the loading screen. Oh, great. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. And I'm loving those C64 games. Of course, I'd love to see others like Paranoid and Trailblazer and all the ones we remember from our childhoods. But as I say, for a starting collection, it's a brilliant introduction. And I think it gives quite a good little array of games there for everybody to have a go at and just see what they're like.
And it's like you said, it's so easy when you think of it was a home system, the Intellivision, and what a absolute pain in the ass those cartridges are. That should never have happened. You know, we're in the modern era now. We don't need to go through all that crap. And it's not nostalgic. It's just really bloody annoying. So yeah, if I want that, I'll put my Intellivision on and go through all that crap. And that's even easier because you've got the controller in your bloody hand pressing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm so pleased that they didn't go down that route.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Aura's Awakening and Cathedral are both fantastic games. Again, they're going to take time for some people to get used to, but that's the thing. You don't need to rush through these games. Take your time, especially with things like Cathedral. Test every wall with your sword. There's treasure rooms inside of treasure rooms if you're going to be willing to look around. Also, another massive plus of Cathedral is the animation, especially when you pick up things like the lantern. If you notice, when he goes up a ladder, it's on his back. When he walks along, he'll swing it with his arm. But if you switch it to the glove, he'll have the glove on and the lantern won't be there. So definitely have a bit of a look at that. And also take time to listen to the music, especially in the town. It's a fantastic chip tune and very catchy. And annoyingly, I keep whistling it all the time. So other people...
That's the trouble, it sticks in your head.
My lad watching that that show with Sheldon in, is it what's it called, Big Bang Theory?
Big Bang Theory, yeah.
I can't get that music out of my head now. He watches it all the time. It's like, oh no, I'm at work and I can hear it. It's like, just right. So we were going to do Evercade Evolution update, but Liam said about that at the start, so we don't need to cover that really. We don't need to update our channels because we've all said that. So should we go on to questions and answers from the audience?
Yeah. Just say now we've got James and Al in the chat. You can still get tickets. I think they had last time I heard they still had a few tickets left for the Nottingham Video Game Expo. And it's I think £5 kids, £10 adults. There's loads going on there. It's I think it's Sega Powered who's sort of put it on with them. Yeah, Sega Power put it on. It's being hosted by the Retro Hour podcast, and there's Rare's going to be there. There's Core Design. There's some huge people going to be there. And there's some like all your retailers, that sort of thing. There's fully licensed bar and sort of food and that you can get. There's going to have the World Cup 3rd and 4th place and the final on the Sunday, and it's if you go to NOTS VGE, so NOTTSVGE.com, you can still buy your tickets and that there. I think it's going to be, say it's the first year they've held it. It seems to have gone really well. When you see all the people who are going to be there, it's I think it's probably done better than they ever thought it would do for the first year. They've done brilliantly with this first one.
Like I said, I really hope I can make it. I'll be gutted if I can't, because that's like the 3rd or 4th show this year I haven't been able to get to.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I was gutted I couldn't go, but my work just wouldn't have it whatsoever. Not this close to Christmas.
Yeah.
That's what it is when you're in retail. You know what they're going to say. They're going to be like, yeah, no, you're not.
Yeah, I'm in the same position, Andy.
Yeah.
So let's just wish Mrs. Nintendolly a happy birthday, because I know he'll be watching the show back later. I hope she has a great birthday. You both have a nice night out. Here's one for Derek. Blunners, I love your jumper, Derek.
Yeah.
I've seen Alan's with the Atari sign on. I like that one as well. There's a question for Derek now. What do you reckon, Derek?
Most challenging game to complete.
Yeah.
I would say. Rad Gravity by Interplay.
Yeah, I gave up
Yeah.
on level 1.
Especially the very last level. It is insane. And I was very lucky to live long enough to face not one, but 2 boss battles. And then there's another bit right at the end where gravity takes the character and you've got to try and fire homing missiles that control with gravity to shoot the boss in one small, very small eye. So it's insanely ridiculous. So yeah, definitely that was the hardest game.
It sounds like an old school game where you couldn't complete it.
Yeah.
Well, they made them like that, didn't they? So you got all the way to the end and you just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
We did Jim Powers.
Yeah, Jim Powers. Yeah, I've done that one. I didn't find it too bad, to be truthful. Once you get past that first stage, just practice the controls, and to be honest, you're away. But yeah, and there's some good shrump bits in there as well. Certain levels turn into shrumps and things like that. So yeah, it's definitely worth persevering with.
The Jim Powers one as well. You can really utilize your save states in that game. That's one of those ones where you can get through it if you use the save states enough.
Oh no!
You know, like I must have used 3 at least in every level. You know, just
it's that parallax scrolling. The parallax scrolling does my head in.
Yeah.
I like that game though. You see is it level 3 and level 6 when you get to the shmup levels? They look great. Really big sprites. Really fun. I had a save state saved at for level 6 where we just go on where I built up enough lives at 8 lives just to try and get through that stage. That one shmup stage with 8 lives and it's still a challenge.
Oh my god,
it's great though.
So the next question is what is everybody's favorite cartridge from the first 10 released?
Oh.
I just had a quick look to remind myself which were the first 10.
Yeah, I'm just doing that as well.
For me, it's got to be Pico 1. All the RPGs on Pico 1 just do it for me. There's some great games. I think there's 20 games on that one. I think that is for playtime. I think that is by far the best value game on the console so far, just because of the amount. I think there's about 7 RPGs on there, aren't there? I bet there's a good few hundred hours worth of playtime on Pico 1 alone.
See, I think for me, mine's between Namco and Data East because I like Burger Time. I'm a bit mad. I know it was a Nintendo version, which a lot of people don't like, but I loved it. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, there's plenty of challenge in it, definitely.
Yeah. Who wants to go next? Derek, what's your favourite?
Probably Mega Cats. Yeah, I really enjoyed their first collection. So yeah, it's great games on there.
Yeah, I'm the same. Mega Cats, I absolutely love that. I mean, every time I do an Evercade video, I'm like, this is one of my favourite cards because there ain't many that aren't. I mean, I love especially the first 10 that were released. I'm one of the, I'm so old. I love this RE2600, so I don't care what anybody else says. I do like to see them there.
Yeah.
The whole of the first 10 were just wicked as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, definitely, Pico, and Mega Cats. Oh, fantastic, absolutely fantastic, both of them.
And what about you, Alan?
I mean, it's probably quite a close call because Namco 2 was probably the one that convinced me to buy the Evercade. When I was interested in the concept of it, but then when I seen that, and I was like, oh, I do like all those games. But I probably would go with Mega Cat as well. But I'm going to say that's really down to Tanzer by itself because that is head and shoulders my favorite game on the Evercade. I love it. I've completed it a few times. I've still not seen the good ending though.
Yeah,
I don't know. I need someone to write me a manual of how to see the good ending because I've tried it so many different ways and I've seen the bad ending, the standard ending. and I've seen them multiple times. But that's a great game. But there's a few really good games on that collection. Old Towers was great as well. Coffee Crisis was a bit of a letdown. But yeah, I think Mega Cat mostly because of Tanzer.
Yeah.
Just looking through for some more questions. Oh, somebody's got the email. Sorry to hear that. I never got the email, so I wonder if I've been affected or not. I might get it tomorrow. I think I left it late ordering the limited edition, so I might be right at the end of the emails.
Maybe.
Possibly.
They are DJs put anybody who has any issues with anything from Lay's that it was replaced within days. You can't fault them for that. That's what I was saying earlier. Customer support is brilliant.
Yeah.
Second to none, really.
Yeah, with the community, like with Alan's stands, well, Telebear stands. Us with the magazine, they never say to us like, "Oh no, you can't use the logo" or anything like that. They just sort of let us. I think they know it's sort of just enhancing their brand in the end, but we've never had any issues with anything like that. If you think it was like Nintendo, it'd be taken down straight away.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. They've always seemed so actually just up for the community, kind of growing and you know, I'm sure there was like I think it might have been the Evercasts, you know, with Rich and Pete and all those guys, and Sean was on it, and I'm sure they had the magazine on the wall or something.
Yeah, they said there was. I think they said when they wait for the first three, I think said and they were going to sort of frame them for the wall.
And then they even did a series of posts at one point about like some of the great things that the community had done, and the magazine was in there as well. And yeah, it's great, and they've always totally supported us being the fans. So yeah, really.
And they totally listen to what the people are saying as well, don't they? And they address them. You know, like with the Wi-Fi and things like that. Better screen. I mean, it all started with fans, didn't it? Really, saying, "Oh, you could improve this and you can improve that," and they do listen. And if they can, they'll deliver, which is absolutely fantastic. Again, and I'll keep harping on. You go and contact Sony or Nintendo or Microsoft, they'll tell you to go and swing one.
Yeah.
They won't address it.
I think you'd be lucky to get a response, to be honest.
Yeah,
you won't get a response whatsoever. No.
Yeah, sure. Look at the Switch. Look at the amount of problems they've had with those Joy-Cons. They've not fixed the problem at all.
Amount of people have had to strip them down and put in metal parts and whatever to make them last a bit longer. That drift problem, they've never addressed it properly, and they just kind of seem to just like bury their heads over it now. Bad.
Right, I was just going to say about I was going to do some giveaways on this show, but I think we're nearly there for time, really. But just to let you guys know, we'll do it on the next show because I've been out and I brought a bag full of games. So I'll wrap them up for the next show. We'll get everybody here to ask a question because I've got at least 5 games in there, and we'll send one out to 5 lucky people.
Yeah.
And it can be anything. There could be Wii in there. There could be DS. There could be PS2, PSP, Atari, GameCube, anything. It's going to be a retro game giveaway, and we will make sure we do it next time. Because I haven't thought of any questions to ask you, to be honest, either. So unless anybody here's got a good question to ask somebody.
I think there's a Christmas quiz on the next one.
Yeah, we'll do a Christmas quiz and give them away on that. How's that sound?
Let them choose which one they want. So like whoever gets first question, choose which one they want.
Yeah. Well, I was going to wrap them all up individually and just like hold up 3 or 4 at a time and say just pick which one you want. Then it's just completely random then.
If you take notice, you'll be able to tell if it's a PSP game. It'll be slightly smaller.
I might put it in the PS2 box, Andy.
Yeah.
Just to throw them off.
Yeah, just to throw them off here. Yeah.
Right,
it's like pick and mix, isn't it, of retro games?
Yeah, well, that's what I've been trying to do. Every time I pop out, I try and find a few games. You know, not too much money, but not too cheap either. Just something I think somebody will play, so that we can give all our viewers something. You know.
So it's not all FIFA then, Roger. Not all FIFA.
There's I've got one sports game in the lot. I'll show you the sports game. There is only one sports game, yeah?
Yeah.
And it's that, GI Jockey. Where you
Oh.
race a racehorse.
GI Jockey.
Yeah.
That sounds more like naughty film.
Well, yeah. But it wasn't a lot. There's no manual in it, unfortunately, for what I paid for it. But it's still
Yeah.
a game you can play if you've never played it before, isn't it? So
yeah, that's right.
I'll tell you what, I might give it away in the fans hub after the show. I'll put a question up. Whoever gets it right, I'll do a random spinning thing, and we'll do that, and we'll give it away. I'll do a mini chat tomorrow or something, and say who's won it.
Yeah.
So there will be a giveaway, but it'll be in the fans hub at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Any other business, guys, that we need to talk about?
No.
Any other?
Covered it.
Alan's putting up the discount code again later, I believe. And that'll be to the end of January, which is very generous of them. I should have waited, Alan, shouldn't I?
Well, it was only decided yesterday, so we thought we should do something for the show. So
that's very good of you. Thank you. Derek, anything else you need to mention about your Twitter account or anything?
No, it's just obviously the YTXPs will still be coming out on the 15th of December. And, I hope everybody has a great experience that receives them. And if not, don't forget, obviously, you've got the Facebook hub or myself on Twitter where you can get in contact with if there is any issues, but I'm sure there won't be. And just enjoy yourselves. Have a great time and get gaming.
Yeah.
Thank you, Derek. Andy?
Yeah, I think we covered it all earlier. Just keep looking out, guys. More unboxing videos coming on my channel. A lot more Evercade coming on my channel, obviously. And and then of course my other series, Grave Encounters. If you're interested in, celebrity grave sites and crime and true crime and what have you, that's my side hustle now.
That's very away from gaming, Andy. You know that, don't you?
It is, isn't it? I'm going to have to involve it somewhere, aren't I? And pick somebody from the gaming industry who's buried. Somewhere near me.
Or something.
you should take a trip to Edinburgh sometime, Andy, because there's some weird, stories like Burke and Hare and Deacon Brody and that are.
That's right. Yeah, because I watch such a lot of channels like that myself. They always end up in Scotland, and there's some fantastic things there. Yeah, absolutely wonderful.
And Liam, Evercade Revolution very soon.
Yeah, hopefully it should be. Hopefully get it finished tonight. Get the first batch out. Well, the proof copy out to everyone in the the Mac group. So we can do final checks, final amends tomorrow night, and then it should be live over the weekend. And then we'll be selling them next. Well, on the 17th, Saturday the 17th, at the Nottingham Video Game Expo.
That's brilliant.
Good luck with that, Liam.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, see how it goes.
Yeah, good luck.
I'd like to thank all of you for joining me on this first new Everchat tonight, and for giving us your time. I'd like to thank the audience as well. I'll get on that giveaway in a second after we've closed the show down. To give me like half an hour because I need to have a drink and a pee and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And as you know, I said on Evercast the other day, we're going to join them for a Christmas special. Some of us will, if we've got the time, because it'll probably be like on a Saturday, and I don't know who's working or not, but we'll sort something out. And we'll try and do a little Christmas show, maybe just after Christmas show.
See what everybody got.
Yeah, well, everybody can talk about if they got their EXP and how they're getting on with it.
Yeah, we might even have a date for when the black ones might be arriving. So yeah, that'd be excellent.
Yeah,
and we'll find out what this first update on the EXP is when you start up from Blazes by then as well. Right, so thank you all. Let's hope the criminals get caught soon. And everybody, if we don't see you before, have a nice Christmas.
Yeah. Have a great Christmas.
Have a nice Christmas, everybody.
Good night.
Nice.